Excellent. Well, we've done past, now we'll go to the future. I understand there's a documentary.
There is a documentary there's been a documentary, the man making the documentary is here.
Okay.
So perhaps you should speak to him. He's travelling with us on these 4 shows.
Right. Will you have a lot of input in it, or you just let him?
No, I'm letting him do everything he wants to do. There's nothing to do with me.
Right.
I don't want to have too much input on it.
Okay.
He's doing what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh.
He works for Channel 4 and BBC, so he's used to making documentaries. He's a fan. It's a labour of love for him. Outside his day job, he's fitting in between various documentaries he's making. Channel 4, BBC. He made that really interesting one for Channel 4 where they took some fashionista off to see the sweatshops in Vietnam and Cambodia to show her where her t-shirt is actually made, who makes it, what hours they work and all that, you know what I mean. Quite interesting document. He's an interesting guy.
Excellent. Excellent. So is there any schedule for that? Will that be?
No, but I think it would suit us if it came out around the time our next album comes out, which will be sometime next year. It's been a bit slow. I thought after the anniversary stuff we'd take a little bit of time off and then get on with the next album. But actually, as it's turned out, everybody wanted a bit of time away, doing other projects. I've been doing a bit of that duo stuff with Dean.
I was going to say, you're doing some dates.
And I've been... Also, we're trying to do something different for the next records. I think the last 3 records, especially the last 2, were really a rock band in a room record. There's nothing wrong with that. Hi, and Today's a Good Day, a rock band playing in a room, you can hear it. It's simple, it's not very many overdubs, it's straightforward.
That was something you deliberately went for, though.
Yes, it's absolutely what we did. We went for that, and now we want to go not for that, because we've done that.
Okay.
For a while anyway, you want to do something different. I've got a kind of sound in my head, and I've been working with the guys, but there's not that much on tape yet.
Do you think that now that all the 30th anniversary stuff's done, it's sort of left you with a blank canvas?
Well, no, I always feel we got a blank canvas. I always think we got a blank canvas.
Yeah.
I'm never really. I never feel that our back catalogue is a weight around our shoulders. No. We're doing a few old songs tonight, but when we did the shows in October, we noted down our 12 best known songs and didn't do a single one of them.
Right.
Because we can do that. We're the only band I'd say from that era, from 30 years old, who can actually go, right, we're not doing any of that catalogue, we're just going to do what we want.
Yeah.
Do obscure B-sides and current material or whatever. We do exactly what we want. There's not a song we have to play.
Right.
I remember that.
Do you feel obliged to touch on certain periods of the past at all, or not really?
This time of year maybe we'll do a couple of old ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind, I'm quite happy to touch on periods of the past because I'm still proud of a lot of the songs.
Of course, yeah.
Especially ones we think, oh, I haven't played that for 20 years, that's a good song, It's having a song that you've got to play.
Yeah.
We haven't got that. And I remember by 1986, Vengeance was the song we had to play, so we stopped playing it. And then in Germany, in the late 80s, first 51st State and then Vagabonds became really well-known songs. So we just stopped playing them. No song is allowed to become bigger than the band.
That's a really unusual attitude, because most bands tend to milk their more successful.
I know. Well, we shot ourselves. Somebody said to me a while ago, around the time we were doing the anniversary thing, they said, look, in 1991, you were set to be a really big band. You played in larger places, and you looked like you were going to become a really big band. What happened? And if I think back, I think we just shot ourselves in the foot so many times that it stopped it happening. Maybe it was partly deliberately, maybe we didn't want that.
I think some things just happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just takes its natural course, and
All I can say is that here we are now, in a position where we can release what we want, when we want, play where we want, when we want, and what we want. And that's pretty enviable position.
Yeah, it's not really bad.
We're not playing to 10,000 people a night, we're not playing 5,000 people a night, but we're in a position where we play exactly what we want, in the way we want, when we want, and where we want. That's as good as it gets to me. Because it means, like you say, are you weighed down by your past? No, not at all. Free of it completely.
So, new album starting to come together. Do you still get the basics of the idea with Dean? Because I know you guys
no, with Michael, actually.
Didn't you?
No,
it's Michael.
There's a lot of there's Michael Dean and Dean White. Everybody gets confused. I do a duo with Dean White, who's a keyboard player in You Wouldn't Like Me, also a great guitar player, very versatile musician, but doesn't write much.
Right.
I like writing with drummers, so I used to write with Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And when Robert's place was taken by Michael, who was his drum tech, I now write primarily with Michael. I like rhythm. I start with rhythm. Somebody said, you know, like me, you know, don't you start with guitar? I go, no. They said, but you're a songwriter, don't you start with piano? I go, no, I start with drums. But you can hear that in your loving music.
Yeah,
it starts with rhythm.
I mean, you can hear even the Stuart Meyer days, like some of the bass lines and that. It's sort of like someone's just played that bass line, and everyone in the room has just gone, "Wow!"
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We never start. Well, occasionally I write a singer-songwriter guitar, with the guitar, but you know. Yeah. But mostly you start with rhythm.
Okay. Now, you say you're sort of like, you know, you release stuff when you want to. I wanted to touch on something because I was talking to Killing Joke about this, and they're doing an album by pledges. They're getting fans to pledge support for an album. Is that something you'd ever consider?
No.
Even with all the illegal downloading and file sharing for
that's
working bands?
That's a way around it, I suppose, the illegal. But then, no, the audience we have Killing Joke have, they buy. I'm not Killing Joke fan, so I buy the albums they make. I buy the album. I don't illegally download it. I usually want the album, even though, well, whatever. But
yeah,
they talk about bands who shoot themselves in the foot. They're worse than us. really unbelievable. But I don't. There is some, you know. Everybody says that would be a very new thing to do because you're very close to your fans, and it would be, and we are, except that we are, but we're not. We do what we do, and there they are, and they come, and they. But
I think that a lot of bands, I mean, Ginger from the Wild Hearts was doing it. It's sort of like specifically.
Maybe we will. Maybe it's something we'll do in the future. It is something that people have been doing for 10 years, and a Marillion do it, don't they?
Yeah, it's getting very popular.
Yeah, very popular. Well, we don't need to financially.
Right.
To start with, I'd rather not spend all the money you're going to get from making a record before you release it.
Yeah.
Or making it. I don't know.
It's all a can of worms, isn't it?
I don't know. It's just a bit of a can of worms to me, and it's also saying, you know, what happens if you make a record that all the fans don't like? If you've made it, they don't like it, then tough shit. But if they've already paid for it, it's like that's a slightly weird arrangement. You know, people said to me once, said, when you're making records, do you think about how much do you think about how fans are going to like it? And the answer is not at all.
It's just purely.
You know, it's whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe that's a bit arrogant, but you know, definitely we're trying to do what we think is great.
Yeah.
We miss from time to time, but that's what we're always trying to do. Otherwise, you know, for what fans always say they want is more like they'll pick something you've done already and say another one like that.
Yeah, I want to go to Japan Part 2.
Yeah. Make more Celtic artwork. No. You know, no. Done it. Move on.
I did read that you were going to be putting out some earlier obscure stuff.
Yeah, well, what's happened is that Vengeance has kind of rather disappeared out of the, you know, it's difficult to get hold of, and we did that with a little independent company, and I went to the guy, who's still in the business actually, all credit to him. I went to him and said, look, you know, how about selling it to us? And he went, yeah, alright. So I bought Vengeance, the rights to Vengeance. So we're going to put out that, and then we were going through the internet and we discovered all this obscure pre-Vengeance tapes. I remember back in the early 80s, talk about being close to your fans, me and Jules used to have parties and we'd invite the following to our house and that. And I remember one year a lot of tapes went missing. Right. So now they all turn up the internet. Or the which is just as well because we would have lost them anyway. And obviously someone has guarded them that nicked them in the first bloody place. and put them on the internet. Then we've gone back and found bits of originals and stuff. And we go, actually, there was almost an album's worth of material that we'd already got through and discarded before we did Vengeance.
Right.
So it's all that stuff.
Okay.
Some bits of which you can find on the internet, but we've got better versions.
Right. So you're going to be repackaging that?
Yeah, it'll be. I'll just give it something else to do.
No.
I'm not going to spend hours doing that, but yeah, it'll be a nice little package sometime next year. Vengeance and this other stuff.
Yeah, with the new album coming out. Is it?
Well, the new album. I don't think the new album will be out before September.
Right.
We haven't even started recording. We got a few demos on tape.
Yeah. So what does the current year ahead have in store for you?
Yeah, really, that's got to be the focus. Obviously, this Vengeance thing will come out, but the focus is to get this new album done. I really want us to do something different, and I want it to be right, so it'll be out when it's out. I mean, September's a reasonable thing to aim at. You know, you have to finish an album 3-4 months before it's released.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Give people a chance to download it.
Yeah, it's got to be available on the net for at least a couple of months before it comes
always
out.
is, you know, but that's true. Actually, I think that we won't bother with that. Maybe we'll just release it the day it's finished, and that's much more sensible, I think.
Okay, well, thanks so much for your time. I'd just like to give you the opportunity to say anything you want to for any New Model Army fans that will be listening to this before going out for New Year.
All right, wonderful New Year. We'll see you next year.
We'll
still be here until we all drop dead. Which will be whenever.
Hopefully not tonight.
I'm not worried.
Looking forward to tonight.
I'm not worried.
Okay, Justin, thanks very much for your time, buddy. Appreciate it, mate. Cheers.